Arsenal's 17 Brazilian stars ranked as Bruno Guimaraes' deal nears, from Wellington Silva to Edu. Bruno Guimaraes is all set to become an Arsenal player after Gunners' bosses finally reached a breakthrough with Newcastle United following several weeks of negotiations. The Premier League champions will sign the 28-year-old after agreeing a £75 million deal. With personal terms long finalised and the midfielder granted permission to undergo his medical ahead of signing a 5-year contract, Mikel Arteta is on the verge of landing his top target to reinforce the Gunners' engine room. When the Selecao star officially puts pen to paper, he will become the latest addition in a long and rich line of Brazilian talent plying their trade in the red half of North London.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. High-quality protein to build muscle. The nutrition you need to power on.
Ready to order? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/10.
Arsenal's Samba connection stretches back to the Arsene Wenger era and has remained strong throughout Arteta's tenure. Guimaraes arrives with massive expectations, following in the footsteps of compatriots who came before him, ranging from legendary Gunners figures to forgettable panic signings and fizzled-out youth prospects. Here, Mirror Football ranks all 17 Brazilians who have signed for Arsenal. Signed from Figueirense in 2007, persistent work permit issues meant he spent his entire Arsenal spell shipped out on loan to various Spanish clubs. He departed in 2012 without ever making a single official senior appearance. Arrived as a highly rated teenager in 2010, but work permit restrictions forced him through 5 separate loan spells before he could officially feature in England. He eventually returned to Fluminense in 2016, leaving North London without playing a competitive first-team match. The left-back joined from Sao Paulo in 2001, but made just 2 appearances before a cruel knee injury halted his progress. He quietly headed back to Brazil in 2004 without ever getting the chance to launch his Gunners' career. You would be forgiven for forgetting the goalkeeper ever played for Arsenal. Brought in on loan from Bournemouth in August 2024 to provide experienced cover for David Raya between the posts. The veteran keeper made a solitary appearance in the Champions League before returning to his parent club at the end of the season. One of Edu's signings, the young winger showed immediate promise by scoring and assisting on a dream Europa League debut against FC Zurich in 2022 after signing from Sao Paulo. However, he struggled to establish a permanent role in Arteta's plans and spent much of his time on loan away from the club before signing permanently for Cruzeiro in 2025. Willian controversially arrived on a lucrative free transfer from Chelsea in 2020, but failed to reproduce his Stamford Bridge form in North London. After a miserable single season featuring just 1 goal in 37 outings, the best thing the veteran winger did was agree to tear up his contract and leave on good terms. Andre Santos was signed in 2011 to plug a hole at left-back, offering plenty of attacking intent and memorable goals against Chelsea and West Brom. However, defensive frailties and an infamous half-time shirt swap with Robin van Persie made his stay short-lived. These days, memories of Santos are largely limited to memes, with some of his useful contributions being overshadowed. Joined from Villarreal in 2015, bringing intense passion and aggressive defending to the Arsenal backline across 64 appearances. He picked up 2 FA Cup winners' medals during his 2.5-year stay before returning to La Liga with Valencia. A polarizing figure following his 2019 arrival from Chelsea, his 2 seasons were a roller coaster of costly red cards and moments of brilliance. Despite the chaotic moments, his leadership off the pitch was vital during Arsenal's 2020 FA Cup triumph. Signed from Sao Paulo as a teenager in 2006, the midfielder went on to clock up over 150 appearances during a transitional period for Wenger's side. While often scrutinized for his sideways passing style, he proved to be a somewhat dependable option over 5 years in an inexperienced squad. The Beast spent the 2006-07 season on loan from Real Madrid as part of the exchange deal for José Antonio Reis. Though inconsistent in the Premier League, his legendary 4-goal demolition of Liverpool at Anfield in the League Cup etched his name in Arsenal lore. He netted a not-terrible 10 goals in 35 appearances before returning to Los Blancos. Wenger's first-ever Brazilian recruit arrived in 1999 and quickly became a fan favorite thanks to his energetic runs and stunning long-range strikes. He racked up 80 appearances before passport complications unfortunately cut his Highbury career short in 2001, allowing a young Ashley Cole to take over at left-back. He arrived from Manchester City in 2022 and instantly revitalized Arsenal's attack. Unfortunately, the striker's career in N5 took a turn for the worse in late 2022 after his injury at the World Cup with Brazil. Since then, he has constantly battled niggles and a serious ACL injury, losing his spark, but still managing to lift the Premier League trophy last season. Plucked from the Brazilian lower leagues as an unknown teenager in 2019, he developed into one of the Premier League's best left wingers under Arteta. His progress has somewhat halted in recent seasons, but his relentless work ethic and clutch goals have made him a crucial pillar of Arsenal's title-chasing era. A reliable midfielder who earned legendary status as a member of the iconic 2003-04 Invincibles, winning 2 Premier League titles and 2 FA Cups during Wenger's tenure. He later returned to shape the club's modern era as sporting director, driving Arsenal's resurgence before departing in late 2024. Signed from Lille in 2020, the imposing centre-back has developed into a defensive cornerstone and a massive threat from set pieces. Forming an elite partnership with William Saliba, he has established himself as one of the best defenders in Europe, with the potential to become Arsenal's greatest ever Brazilian by the time he hangs up his boots. The invisible wall was the serene anchor of the undefeated 2003-04 Invincibles and scored the club's first competitive goal at the Emirates Stadium. A World Cup winner and a true Arsenal legend, he brought invaluable composure and defensive bite across 244 appearances for the club. Sky's Ultimate TV and Sky Sports bundle includes at least 215 live Premier League clashes across the 2026-27 season, with more than 1,400 live games across the EFL and beyond, plus F1, golf, and darts. Every subscription now comes with 135 channels alongside free subscriptions to HBO Max, Netflix, Disney+, Discovery+, and Hayu.